Quebec has unveiled an updated version of its back-to-school plan. The province has been hardly criticized for its original plan announced in mid-June. Teachers thought it wasn't precise enough, and several parents were worried. The provincial government has made changes, and the CBC's National Assembly correspondent Cathy Sine is here to explain them. Cathy, thank you so much for joining us. The Legault government, it's following Health Canada's recommendation. Masks will be mandatory for grade 5 students and up. What's going on there?
Exactly. So 10 years old and over will have to wear a mask when they walk from one place to another in schools. That means indoor public spaces until they sit down, for example, at the cafeteria or in an auditorium. That includes also school buses and public transit. Students won't have to wear masks when they sit down in classrooms. And I don't know if you do remember, but the Education Minister Jean-François Roberge back in mid-June had announced that students would be divided into bubbles of up to 6 students in classrooms. Several teachers were just wondering how they would be able to put that in place, how it could be applied, and if it was feasible. So finally, those bubbles will not be put in place, but classrooms will have to stay together. Students won't have to respect the physical distancing between them in classrooms because it becomes the bubble itself, but we'll have to keep a 2-meter distance with their teachers. The 1 meter physical distancing for preschool and primary school students from different classrooms when they walk in common areas will still be in place. But for the education minister, it was crucial to have children coming back to school after being away since March. Take a listen.
We are really aware for the risk for not open the school. Not open the school is putting our kid at risk. We have some trouble with mental health, with learning disabilities. So I think the higher risk is not to reopen our schools.
Okay, Cathy, so that's the government, but there has been some pushback on this from the beginning. What is the opposition saying in response to this plan?
Well, they are happy to see that masks will be mandatory because it's more current with public health measures. But now, for them, the education ministry has to put more resources in place, not only to make sure that public health measures are applied, respected, but also for children with learning difficulties. Take a listen.
I was astonished, and not in a positive way, to not hear the minister say a word about a plan in education when we've been asking him, and teachers have been asking him, and experts have been asking him for months now to have a plan for children who will need to recuperate.
We cannot afford to not succeed. The kids were very affected by COVID-19. They were not allowed to go back to school. They were not allowed to go to their friends. They were not allowed to play any sport. I think it's very important for all the kids to get back to school, to socialize with all their friends, to have a certain normal life.
So you've heard, David, the pressure is on. Mm-hmm. Well, Quebec has to succeed and really has to get a high mark for its back-to-school plan. And the education minister said that he won't postpone the date. Schools will start on August 24th. And he thinks that gives teachers and school member personals enough time to be ready because now the instructions are clear.
Okay, Cathy Sine, thank you so much. That's Cathy Sine in Quebec City.
Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video.